everybody, and welcome to Enjoy English. I am Shane.
大家好，我是 Bernice.
Hello, Bernice.
Hi, Shane.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So we've got a pretty interesting topic today, something that is relatively new in all of our lives. It's only been the last few years that we've seen the growth of this thing, the QR code. So the title today is The Rise of the QR code.
没错，刚才 Shane 老师讲的就是这个 QR code 呢，是一个我们蛮新的一个东西，然后呢，但是它的知名度或它的人气已经飙升了。所以今天呢，我们讲的这个主题就是要讲这个改变人类生活的行动条码。
And we want to find out what is a QR code and how does it work? That is our objective today.
没错，所以我们等一下呢就会了解 QR code 到底在我们的生活里面是怎么运用，还有它到底是什么意思呢？等一下我们就知道咯。
The rise of the QR code. QR codes are very common these days, providing people with a convenient way to share information. These black and white squares are widely used in restaurants and stores, as well as on all kinds of print advertisements. The QR code is short for Quick Response Code, and these simple codes have become a useful tool in the smartphone era. The QR code was released in 1994 by a Japanese company called Denso Wave. However, the research that went into the QR code's development dates back to the 1960s. During that time, barcodes were becoming widespread in Japanese supermarkets. However, barcodes had some limitations. The biggest problem was that barcodes could not contain as much information as people would like. After becoming aware of the problem, Denso Wave's development team created a new two-dimensional code that suited the needs of the public better, and this became known as the QR code. QR codes can be scanned from any angle and can contain much more information. They were first used in Japan's automotive and shipping industries. With the invention of camera phones, the application of QR codes has expanded globally.
Okay, so how often do you use your QR code?
Almost every day when you want to. Yeah, you have to pay when you enter some building. You need a QR code, so almost every day.
Yeah, practically every day. And you even see just maybe 2 years ago, you wouldn't see old people using the senior citizens, but even now everybody is using their phone as a QR scanner and using the QR code. It's everywhere now. Okay, so let's get into the reading.
All right.
QR codes are very common these days, providing people with a convenient way to share information.
所以一开始就讲说呢，这个 QR code 呢非常非常的 common，就非常的普遍啦。所以现在大家在任何地方 these days 就是如今大家都可以看得到，而且它主要的功用呢就是 providing， 这边加了 ing， 就是 which provide。好，然后变成了这个所谓的分词构句。那记得 provide 的用法是 provide somebody with something。那如果你把人跟物的位置颠倒，就会变成 provide something for somebody。好，所以这边用的是 with， 提供人们呢一些这个所谓的便利的一些方式。那主要是用来 share information， 是在分享资讯的。
Right. Okay, so these black and white squares are widely used in restaurants and stores, as well as on all kinds of print advertisements. Yeah, so you see these advertisements, like, for example, on the side of a bus, or anywhere now. These QR codes are popping up everywhere. This is an easy way, if you're going to advertise your product, there's only a limited space if you're
Yeah.
putting it on the side of a bus, for example. If you put a QR code there, now somebody can use their phone and then get to the internet where they could find all kinds of information.
这是真的。所以刚才这个 Shane 老师的意思就是说，现在我们在公车的那个车身上面，我们都会看到一些广告，可是我们知道它的篇幅是有限的，所以如果你有个 QR code， 我们只要扫描一下，我们就可以点进去知道更多有关这个产品的一些资讯了。对，这个就是它的方便性。所以呢，这个到底 QR code 是什么呢？它就是一个黑白相间，像 pandas 一样的，像熊猫一样的一个 squares， 它就是一个方块。然后呢，它是 widely used，be widely used， 或者我们用 broadly used，b r o a d l y， 被广泛的使用在哪里呢？餐厅啦，或者是商店 ，as well as 就是 and。还有呢 ，on 在什么上面呢 ？all kinds of 各式各样，只要你可以 print 出来，可以这个所谓的平板哈，就是平面的广告上面 print advertisements， 就是一些平面的广告上面，通通都会使用到 QR code。
Yeah, I notice in many restaurants that I go to now, rather than them giving you a physical menu, they just have a QR code
that's true.
on the table,
Yes.
and then you just use your phone, and then the menu comes up on your phone, and you can even order the food on the phone, and pretty soon,
Yes.
I think that like these, waiters and
pay
waitresses,
immediately.
all the waiters, waitresses, and the people who work at restaurants, they're going to be out of a job.
对，这个也是负面的影响。
Right? You just need the chefs in the back making the food.
That's true.
Right?
对，所以刚刚老师就是说，我们去餐厅里面现在都已经没有 physical 的那种实体的这种所谓的 menu 了，你只要用 QR code 扫描就可以点餐 ，menu 就会跳出来。所以他刚才就是说，很多的 waiters or waitresses 他们就会 out of job， 就是失业了。
不需要了。
对，不需要他们了。
Okay, continuing. The QR code is short for Quick Response Code. Okay, so if we say something is short for something else, that means that these letters put together are, if you spell them out, they're going to become maybe more words or a longer word. So, for example, you could say, like, the country I am from is USA. Someone can ask you, what is USA short for? Say, oh, it's short for the United States of America. Right?
And when we use short form of the word, we have to remember that we have to capitalize them, right? USA and QR, 你不能小写，要大写。
Right.
对对对。
Okay, so we found out that that's quick response. Okay, code. And these simple codes have become a useful tool in the smartphone era.
我们现在就是在这个smartphone era.
We are definitely in the smartphone era. And it's amazing how quickly technology it's just changing so rapidly all the time.
没错，所以这边就是讲说呢 ，QR code 它的这个所谓的缩写，这边的这个 short， 当然还有一个字比较稍微难一点，叫 abbreviate，这个字就是缩写。abbreviated be abbreviated for 就是什么什么的缩写，就是这三个字的缩写啦，所以有人把它们称之为所谓的快速回应的一个图码，所以也有人把它叫什么二维条码这样子哈。好，总之这个东西呢，就是一些非常简单的这个程式码，然后现在呢已经成为非常有用的工具，尤其是在我们这个智慧型手机的世代里面。
That's right. So an era is just a period of time, right? And usually quite a long period of time. And yeah, I think we're going to be in the smartphone era for a long time to come in the future. Okay, why don't we take a short break and we'll come back in a moment.
All right.
Okay, so QR, quick response code. So just how quick is it?
Okay.
Okay, well, let's get into the reading and find out more about this QR code, how it came about. The QR code was released in 1994 by a Japanese company called DensoWave.
From Japan.
From Japan. Japanese company. Yeah, they are always kind of at the top of electronic ingenuity, right? Like making new things and coming up with new inventions and ideas. So it was released. And what they mean by it being released is that it was made available for people to use.
没错，所以这边的 release 的就是指呢，它是什么时候推出来，什么时候 launch，L-A-U-N-C-H-E-D， 在这边也可以这么用。所以这个 QR code 呢，它这一个推出的时间点是在1994年，然后呢，就是由一个日本的公司，这个公司的名字就叫 DensoWave。
However, the research that went into the QR code's development dates back to the 1960s. Wow.
Earlier.
So it's been in development for quite a long time before it's released in 1994. Okay, so we're talking about the research that went into it. So research, we know, is just learning about something, getting facts and information and trying to figure something out.
没错。好，所以接下来就讲了，可是呢，虽然它是这个 QR code 的这个生成是在1994年，但是其实呢，这样子的一种 research， 这样的一种研究，而且这个研究是 that went into。什么叫 go into 呢？就是表示你要开始进入这样子的一个状态里面或活动里面，就是我们进入到这个 QR code 的这个发展的这样的一个状态的活动里面的研究呢，其实这个时间点是要追溯回去，所以 date back to 时间要推回到1960年，所以也就是说1960年呢就已经有人投入这个行动条码的开发研究。只是到1994年才正式的推出。
Okay. During that time, barcodes were becoming widespread in Japanese supermarkets. Okay, so we've all seen barcodes, and barcodes, like when you buy a product in a supermarket, you hold up the product to a kind of a scanner, right? Like it looks like a little gun, and it will scan the barcode, and beep, it will come up onto the computer and you know what the product is and how much it costs. And this technology has been around for a very long time.
That's true.
Right? Decades.
所以刚刚老师就在解释呢，其实它就是来自于我们这个 barcode， 就是我们大家每次要到 supermarket 买东西扫描的这一个粗细相间的这个条纹的这个东西，所以会告诉我们多少钱。所以在那个时期呢，其实那个条码呢就 were 好，记得因为它是在讲述过去的时间 were becoming 就在那个时候已经变得越来越，所以 be 动词加 becoming 就是变得越来越怎么样。widespread 就是 popular 就是非常的受欢迎，尤其是在日本的超市里面。
However, barcodes had some limitations. Okay, so if you say something has a limitation, that means that there is some limit put on that thing, just meaning that there are some things that it cannot do. Its functionality here would be limited. It can only do that much. But maybe some other type of technology can do much, much, much more, right?
没错。好，所以这边讲到这个，当你有东西的这个 limitation， 有这个所谓的 limitation， 就是有一些限制。就像刚刚老师解释的，你就是做一些东西，你只能做到某一个范围，那你如果超过，可能就没有办法这样子去做，它在它的功能上就没有办法了。所以他说，可是呢，我们在使用这些条码，其实它就是有一些这样的 limitations， 它就是有这些限制。
Right, so the biggest problem was that barcodes could not contain as much information as people would like. Okay, so these barcodes are very limited in the amount of information that they can hold, right? Okay, so that is a big problem when you need to stuff more information into it.
没错，这就是重点。所以他说，可是呢，我们原本用的这一个 barcodes， 有人翻条码，也有人把它翻成一维条码，因为它就是一条线这样子。因为这个一维条码呢，是在这个物流业界里面所发明的，所以呢，原本它就要登录很多的商品资讯，比如说你的manufacturer 的名字啦，哈，它的厂商的名字，或者是它的成分啦、重量。这么多的这个资讯你要登录，所以原本呢，它没有办法把这么多资讯全部放到一个 barcode 里面，所以他这边就讲到了最大的问题，就是因为 barcodes 它能够包含的这个 information 没有办法达到我们人们所需要的这个资讯量，所以就变成有其他的发明出现。
Right. So after becoming aware of the problem, DensoWave's development team created a new two-dimensional code that suited the needs of the public better. And this became known as the QR code.
所以 QR code 就是这样出现的啦。所以他就讲说，就是因为大家后来 aware of, know the problem, 知道了这个问题，就是资讯太多了。那如果你光用 barcodes 是没有办法输入这么多的，所以这个他们这间日本的公司的这个发明团队呢，才开始创造一个新的，就是我们刚才讲的二维码。那这个二维码呢，就比较能够 suit the needs of， 就比较能够 meet the requirements， 比较能够满足大家的需求，就是大众的 public better 比较能够。那这也就是后来呢所著称的 QR code。
That's right. So it's a two-dimensional code. So we know that there are different dimensions, 1 dimension, 2 dimension, 3 dimensions, and we can say 1D, 2D,
3D, 4D,
even 4D, right?
Yeah, right.
So in this case, there's a second dimension that's added to it, right?
Yeah.
Because the barcode is just kind of flat like that,
Yeah, flat
whereas
one.
a QR code is more of a square. It's not 3 dimensions, just 2 dimensions.
Yes.
But it can hold a lot more information.
That's true.
Okay. Why don't we take a short break and we will come back in a moment.
好的。
So Bernice, do you remember like the first time you started using barcodes? Like how long ago was it that you...
Especially during COVID-19. Right?
Okay.
Because when we enter the place, someplace,
Right.
everybody needs to use QR code to identify who you are.
Oh, okay. Yeah. At that time, it was becoming very important. Yeah. So for me, it was about a few years ago. And I remember not all phones yet could be used as a QR scanner. And I remember I had a phone where I would have to download a special app.
Yeah.
And then it would read the QR code, a picture of it or something like that. But yeah, so now it's become so easy to use. And it's amazing just the development and how rapidly it has spread.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's continue learning more about the QR code. QR codes can be scanned from any angle and can contain much more information as opposed to a barcode, right?
没错，所以像如果呢，大家所这个知道的有这个经验，如果我们去 supermarket， 如果只是 barcode，你会发觉这一个 cashier 他拿着那个 scanner， 他要很靠近。而且他就是一个 angle 这样过去，他不能这样，不能这样子随便乱扫描。可是 QR code 呢是 can be scanned， 它被扫描的方向呢是 any angle， 你随便你这样噔滴噔噔都可以。对，你的手机也不用拿这样正的，你要拿横的也行，你拿斜的也可以。你只要把你的 QR code 放在你要扫描的那个范围里面，就通通都可以了。而且呢，它还包含的资讯是 much more 更多的资讯。
Right. Okay. So they were first used in Japan's automotive and shipping industries. Okay. So a lot of technology really usually is being used in the kind of what we call the private sector. Right? They first start using it in companies and using it for things that they really, really need a solution at some time for something that they're doing within their business or something like that. And then it's not until later that they think, oh, actually, we could be using this out in the public, you know? It would be a good thing to use for just the average person. And so then it becomes developed more and changes a little bit so that people like you and me are now using QR codes.
没错，刚刚 Shane 老师的意思说，大部分呢，我们会发觉我们现在所发明出来的一些东西，一开始它会用在所谓的 private sectors， 就是比较私人的领域里面。然后当你在使用过后，你发觉，其实这个东西可以推广到大众，你就开始会把这个东西，比如说加以变化，或者让它变得更加的 users friendly， 比较更容易上手。那这时候呢 ，the public 大众就都可以一起使用。
Right? If you think about like computers,
Yes.
right? Computers, the internet. These things weren't created for us to go shopping online or something or play video games on them. That's not what the intention was when these things were first created. They were trying to solve real problems,
Yes.
that they needed to do and to be able to communicate, for example, within governments and things like that. And then later, it just the technology develops into something that they would have never even thought of in the beginning, right?
对
Okay, so with the invention of camera phones, the application of QR codes has expanded globally.
Wow, globally, worldwide,
Yes.
全球都可以看得到了。
That's what it means, globally or worldwide. Like the globe, when we say the globe, we're referring to Earth,
Yes.
this world that we all live on, right?
没错，所以呢，接下来就是说呢，一开始这个 QR code 呢，它原本就是运用在日本的这个汽车跟航运业，然后后来呢，就是随着这个所谓的拍照手机，以前的手机有的是就是不能完全都可以拍照，那后来等到慢慢手机已经有拍照的功能之后呢，这样子的一个应用才开始呢，在全球 expand 才开始扩展。
Yes. Okay, why don't we take a break until part 2? That's all the time we have for today.
对
So you guys can take a break and come right back into
Day
part
2.
2.
Yes.
Or you can wait a little while, give yourself a rest, let everything soak in. But we will see you back here
OK，
next time.
拜。
Bye-bye.